Conversations. I'm joined again by my friend Whitey. Hello. What's up, guys? And so, it's the end of the year. Everyone and their mother has their best books list and the worst books list, Like every peer of ours YouTube channel is all like, what are the 10 best books, 10 worst books? So
true.
I totally just dropped my notepad, I'm sorry. But so we're gonna switch it up a little bit, and we're actually doing what we think were the most underrated books of the year. They're not necessarily our favorites of like all the books, but they're up there, But like they're not necessarily They're not necessarily the best books out there, but they're the books we think were the most underrated and deserve the most spotlight from any company. It doesn't have to be DC or Marvel or Valiant or Image. It's everything across the board. We have books from Marvel, Aftershock, Image, Boom, DC. We're all over the board, and let's get into it. You want to start? Should I start? You start. What's your first book?
First start is Plastic Man. The great book.
Was it by Gail Simone? I believe she wrote it, right?
Yes.
I have no idea who the artist is.
No idea. Should probably look.
Yeah, I got it. Below? I'm not familiar with it. Damn, I'm sorry.
Not familiar.
No, but
still enjoyed everything about the artwork. Very fun book with the start. L. O'Brien.
So what would you say takes place?
Take place in what, like 1990s probably?
No, I mean the story. What's the story?
What's the storyline? A little bit how his origin is, how he began, and how he got his powers.
Yeah.
And how he's a bit of a scumbag.
Kind of. But no, he's still a good guy.
He's a good guy, but you can see how he's also an ass.
Yeah, I could cheat because I also read this one.
He's in and out, but he's trying to be a hero now.
Yeah.
He stumbles across a kid that he cares about and goes a nice way.
Yeah,
he has a heart. He's a really kind character, funny, kind of just comedic relief. But he was great throughout the storyline. I wish it was a little bit longer. Only 6 issues. It's not very long, so it's a short read.
There's no miniseries, right?
Yeah. But it was very enjoyable. I'd recommend it for just a quick read.
Yeah, especially if you're interested in the character, because you said it's an origin story.
It's a origin.
Yeah, they don't give you a hard time, but I guess it's his new origin story. Yeah, so, alright.
Is he from New York?
I forget. No, he's not from New York. I'm blanking out on the city. It's a made-up place.
Is it?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's a DC world. Yeah, I'm blanking out on it.
I
Damn.
don't know if it's serious city.
My first book I have up is Black Badge by Matt Kint and Tyler Jenkins. And it's put out by Boom Studios, I believe. This is a follow-up kind of to the same creative team did a book last year that I really liked called Grass Kings. Another watercolored book. They actually do a hint in one of these that they're in the same universe. So that was kind of neat. But this is a follow-up book from them. It's kind of completely unrelated to Grass Kings, but the same team. And it focuses around pretty much a Boy Scout troop. But they work for the U.S. government. They're all scouts who are elevated to the next level of scouts. I think it takes place in the 90s, if I'm correct, or maybe the early 2000s. But it's pretty interesting. It's they all have black badges. That's their group, and they go throughout the world and do covert ops for the government. And now we're just starting to get into some crazy stuff with the Jamboree, because we just met other groups. We met the pink badges or whatever. We're the all-girl squad. There's blue and white badges too. One's recon team, and one's surveillance. One's the technical guys, and the other one is people who mind watch people, pretty much
oh my God.
Propaganda people. And then the Black Badge, our main focus team is this Black Badge. They're the Black Ops team. They've killed people in some of these books. These kids, but it's all for the government. But it's getting some cool twists now where you don't know who you could trust, They don't know if they could trust the counselors or the other scouts or anyone. But also they're in a little competition with each other because they gotta win. But it's fun.
The best.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on. It's a really fun series, and the art is great. It's all the watercolors. Tyler Jenkins great. Matt Kint is a very good writer. He's done a lot of stuff for Valiant, if you remember him from that, or Mind Management, I believe, was his book too. I might be getting that mixed up. But yeah, check it out. I guess, what's your second book?
Let's see. Punisher. War Machine. It's interesting. Of course, it's just fun. Just a Punisher with the War Machine suit.
Yeah, I didn't read this. I'm reading current Punisher. I'm pretty sure this run went pretty under the radar. I didn't know anybody else who read it besides you.
I love everything with the Punisher, so him with the War Machine suit just really.
It was a fun
It was
concept.
a match made in heaven for me.
Yeah, it's
Because
interesting
just
concept.
destruction with destruction.
How long did that run for? Like 6 issues or something, right?
Even longer. I think.
Yeah.
It ran for a good while, I think. I think it was about like 10, 12 issues.
12 issues. And who wrote that? Is that like Matthew Rosenberg still? Who's writing the current book?
Was it? I don't even know if it's on here. It's not on the phone.
No.
I forget who it was.
Well, it was the last Iron Man. Not Iron Man. It's an Iron Man because there's a War Machine
Yeah,
armor
sure.
on it. The last Punisher run that was just out, and it's pretty. It's him getting revenge for
He's kind
Secret
of
Empire, right?
well. He's offered opportunity with it, and then Nick Fury helps him get it. Like tells him where it is. He breaks in and steals it, and then he goes off into a different country where there's war and everything, and he just sets him up to kill big time people now, like who has just overthrown a country, and he has like nuclear weapons, and Frank takes it to the next level. Of course, like everything.
Is it like a fun made up
But
country?
it's a fun, yeah, it was a fun cut. I forget what the name of the country is. It might have been.
It's not like
made up.
or is it like Latveria or something? Or
I forget what it
Yeah?
is, but
Alright.
it might have been made up. But it was just interesting, him with the suit, him playing around with it, just blowing up people, and him getting to learn it. And the suit talks back, and Frank with his one-liners.
oh, the suit talks back to him. That's
talks
fun.
back to him, so he has one-liners with the suits that are pretty funny. So
Nice.
it was enjoyable if you love him and just him, doing his thing, blowing up people.
Yeah.
But his new series was also great because he's
Back to the basics
back
now.
to the
Yeah.
basics and
But-
getting to kill some big names. Hopefully,
Yeah. But if you want to see the Punisher some War Machine armor, check it out. It's fun.
it's a great one.
My next book, actually, I don't have. I already put away. I had to rescan my comics into my phone, like in the app. When my phone broke, I forgot to set up the cloud with CLZ, and I ended up putting this series away. So I wasn't going deep digging for it. So it will be on the screen though, digitally. And this series, I really liked. It's Exit Stage Left: The Snagglepuss Chronicles, and it was written by Mark Russell, and the art I think was Mike. I wrote it down because I wasn't familiar with Freeban, but it's cool. It's a Snagglepuss book, from like the Hanna-Barbera character Snagglepuss.
Really?
Yeah. So it stars him, and another big player in it is Huckleberry Hound. But it takes place during like the 1950s, during the Red Scare, and it has all to do with
Nice.
yeah, it has all to do with communism in show business. About how people they were trying to fish people out and stuff,
Yes.
and it has to do with that and homosexuality, and how it wasn't okay to be gay back then, and like stuff comes out, and it has serious issues like it has to do with immigration, homosexuality, like suicide, depression, drug abuse. It's totally not like a Hanna-Barbera cartoon. But I really liked it, and I really think it was an interesting take. I believe this is the same guy who did that Flintstones comic that came out last year or 2 years ago that everyone really liked.
Oh man, I was going to get that.
Yeah,
I was
think
looking
it's
at
the
it
same
and I
guy.
didn't get it.
Yeah.
There's a lot of good comics I really wish I picked up. But oh well.
Yeah, your next book ready?
Oh yeah, sorry. Looking at something, but Death of the Inhumans.
Brushing
Sure.
up on something?
Yeah, I just wanted to brush up on one thing real quick. But Death of the Inhumans was great. I think it was only five issues.
Yeah.
It wasn't that long.
And I know if any of you guys are like, how is an event underrated? This event came out between like 6 other events.
Yeah.
Yeah, you had the Drowned Earth, the Witching Hour, Extermination, Heroes in Crisis.
Oh my god.
Doomsday Clock is going on. That's slow, but it came out I think around like the week after, and I think we're missing another event too. I think there was another Marvel one, but was No Surrender going on? Or No Surrender was over. Yeah. No. But still, there's like 7 events going on at one time, so that's how it flew under the radar.
And it was there's only 5 issues, but it was pretty strong.
No tie-ins, too, right?
No tie-ins.
Just that?
Just
Nice.
They got back to old character in there. Beta Ray was in there, so it was nice.
Oh yeah, Beta Ray Bill was in it?
Yeah.
Nice! He's not in
It's a
here.
little throwback. But he's not Inhuman,
Yeah.
but he was a nice little star in there.
And like, I hate to say it, I guess the title really explains the book, right?
Yeah, right. That kind of just tells you what's going on in the whole start of it. It's pretty sad, but, at the end, also a satisfying end.
Just has
a little,
it's hard to talk about without ruining
Yeah,
it,
really, because you can't say
you can't
much.
mention who survives, who dies, what happens, any twist. Yeah.
But the name itself just tells you
enough. Check it out though.
Yeah.
And it's who writes it again? It's someone good, I believe. Someone I'm familiar with.
What is it?
Donny Cates.
Yes.
Yeah, Donny Cates. Check that book out.
Donny Cates, nice cover.
That's a great cover. What issue is that?
That was 1.
It's 1? Oh, that's great. Yeah. All his lockjaw in there and everything.
Yeah, it gives you all the like
Medusa's in the helmet and everything.
Kind of hard to see.
Yeah, I'll have a blown up version on the screen right now, so they won't even have to see us staring at it like a bunch of morons. I don't know. I was trying to think of a more creative word and also not say fuck, but then I just said it there. Alright, so my next book is... This was actually kind of ended up as a substitute, because I was going to do a different book, but it's like not underrated at all, apparently. Yeah, no, they have like special comic book editions of it. They put out a director's edition of the first issue. I bought all of this, by the way, but it's totally not underrated. Jeff Lemire now left from doing like DC and Marvel work, so he must be making a lot of money on that. It's Gideon Falls, by the way. It's worth checking out. But this book is A Walk Through Hell by Garth Ennis, and I'm not too familiar with the artist. I had to write it down again. I'm sorry. Goran Sudzuka.
That's a hell
Goran
of a name.
Sudzuka. Oh man, it's not even the hardest one I have here. The dude who wrote The Century has the hardest one. You know what's funny? Out of all my books here, I'm really not familiar with like any of the artists except for Tyler Jenkins. A lot of
nobody else in there.
A lot of people I wasn't too familiar with, but this is written by Garth Ennis. So if you're familiar with Garth Ennis' work, he's mainly big for Punisher Max. Welcome Back, Frank. He wrote Hitman. He wrote Preacher. Garth Ennis those are all some big books right there. But he's done a lot of really good stuff. I'm a big Garth Ennis fan. He put this out through Aftershock Comics. It's in the creator-owned label. And, I really don't know anyone else who's reading it. I think it blew under the radar. But it's a Garth Ennis book that's it centers around 2 cops or FBI agents trying to solve a case. They walk into a warehouse and they get trapped in the warehouse and everything gets paranormal on them. And they live, they're normal cops in normal society. But then it also flashes back to like a pedophile case they worked on. And it did the Image thing where it had like 5 issues and took a gap and it just came back.
It took a break.
Yeah, it took a break. It took but it only was like a 1-month break or 2-month break.
That's good.
Yeah.
I hate when they take long breaks.
Yeah, it came back soon. Like, thank God it's on my pull list. I didn't know it was coming back out. And then they were like, here it is. And I was like, oh, cool. This would have flown under my radar. And I had written down it wasn't coming out for another month. I would have probably missed that issue. I had to pick up the next one,
I hate to get the second print.
Yeah, regardless, that's really, I can't talk much about this story. It's a murder mystery the whole time. Like, half of it, half of it's like a murder mystery / pedophile mystery, and the other half's a paranormal mystery, but it's all a mystery. And without
it's all connected?
Yeah, it's all connected, it's all mystery, without me ruining any of the mystery, It's just, it's a more psychedelic Garth Ennis story. It's less bloody and gore, but it's a very fun read. If you're into murder mysteries, or into paranormal stories, or kind of, because I think we're going that. There's like a hell, not just like Christianity too, there's definitely a hell aspect to it, it's all, but if you're into, like, I guess mainly murder mysteries, check it out. If you like Garth Ennis, give it a shot, I picked it up off that. I like Garth Ennis.
I should have loved
it. It's a good story, yeah. And then, we have 2 each left, right?
I got, yep.
What's your next one?
Weapon H.
Oh, man. I'm surprised I'm not gonna lie, whenever I see this book, I just make jokes about it.
Really?
Because it's the Hulk and Wolverine.
That's what I love about it. It's so stupid. It's I don't know, it's just a soldier who just gets kidnapped named Clay, and he's just used as an experiment with the spliced DNA of Hulk and Wolverine.
When did this come out? Like January, like February or something?
Yeah, it was like at the beginning of the year, basically.
Because I know there's at least like 9 issues of it or something now, right?
Yeah, I think it's up to, what was it, 11 or 12 issues now?
Oh, that's funny. So it started like right in January.
And
it's just made it into the list.
It just made it.
Oh, he totally appeared before the end of last year. He appeared in an event, right?
He came in one of the Hulk series.
Yeah,
I forget what it was.
I'm only familiar with it because I got my roommate into Weapon X, and apparently that crossed over with the Hulk
Hulk
series for
series.
this. Because he brought it up to me. He was like, who the hell is Amadeus Cho? Because like, I just got him in the comics. And he's like, who the hell is this kid? I just had to explain to him like who Warpath and Domino are.
Oh,
You know, he only knew Sabretooth and like Old Man Logan on the team.
Any of the X.
Well, now he does.
Now,
yeah, because and like he really likes Warpath. I got him, so like he's in the Warpath.
Awesome.
I got him really into Doctor Doom too, because of Doctor Doom. You know, and he really likes Superior Spider-Man. Regardless of what my roommate likes or not, I'm familiar a little bit with that story because he was talking to me about it.
It was just an interesting storyline.
Who does he fight, man? After
He's
all
just,
that, like, what does he do?
He just escapes, and a company's coming after him to like capture him and work for him.
What company?
Is
it like Cat? No, that's DC.
Is it Roxxon?
It's Roxxon. It's totally Roxxon, isn't it?
It's Roxxon. I think it is that it's coming.
Damn it, of course it's Roxxon.
The owner's there trying to get him. The owner's like some type of creature demon, of course, but they're trying to. Because he made a dimensional tear somewhere, and of course now there's creatures coming through.
He did?
No, the guy with Roxxon.
Alright,
and he wants to recruit him to go in there and fight the creatures and kill them all because they're trying to escape into our world.
He's not really dealing with anything continuity in Marvel.
No, nothing at all. It's
Does
just
Laura ever pop up in there?
Captain America's in there.
That's fun. Yeah, but
about
like Laura never pops up. Laura Kelly.
I don't think so.
Yeah, because like you know, in like 2 or 3, no, in like 2 years now that like Wolverine's coming back, he's gonna fight Wolverine and the Hulk.
That's what I was waiting for. I was like, when is he going to come into contact with Wolverine and actual Hulk?
And I can tell you exactly what the cover of that comic is going to be.
It's going to be the classic covers of them coming in.
Instead of the Wendigo, it's going to be
him. It's going to be all three. Yeah, it's going to be.
Instead of the Wendigo, they're going to replace it with Weapon H. Yeah.
It's going to be like the 1 of 50 variant or whatever.
No, that's going to be I think that's going to be the A cover. That's going to be like the normal cover.
That's going to be a normal cover.
Or like one of the, there'll be 2 normal, like the A and B covers. That might be the B cover, but like that's totally gonna be a $4. No, that series is gonna be a mini series. It's gonna be a $5 issue. But no, this is a positive conversation. Let's not talk about that. The evils of money.
Yeah. Right?
But yeah, check it out. Like apparently it's not as much of a joke as I thought it was. So if you're on the same page as me, like I might give it a read now. Yeah, that's a good shit. That's a good cover. All right. And now I have my what am I on? 4th book. Is The Century by Jeff Lemire.
Oh, great book.
Yeah, he almost made it twice on my list, but he's just being too successful with his independent comic right now. So God forbid he's making money. God forbid a good writer is doing well.
Damn you.
Damn you.
Stop making good stuff. I hate it.
But yeah, Century miniseries came out this year. I don't think enough people really read it. I thought it was going to be an ongoing series when I started reading it, and then it was a mini. And then Jeff Lemire quit writing for Marvel and DC, so he's never even going to follow up for this. And it was great. It focuses on where he is now. My familiarity with the Century is in events. I remember him in Siege.
That's true.
I read New Avengers, not all of it, but I read the first couple volumes. Excuse me, sorry. I read the first couple volumes of New Avengers. I'm familiar with him there. I remember the old Paul Jenkins story. But then there's a gap where apparently he died during Siege, I believe, at the end or whatever, and apparently he came back to life in a Doctor Strange book recently. Life in a Doctor Strange book, and now he's back to life, and it's a fun story. It starts off he's working in a diner with Scout, and what's it called? He's using a machine that was built for him by Iron Man and I think Doctor Strange to help regulate Sentry power, and that's kind of what he's up to. Yeah, it's like a little pocket universe. Yeah. So like, he can be instead of like sleeping like normal people, he goes in this universe and it's the Sentry, and then wakes up and goes on with his normal day. Yeah, as a cook, and then it's you know anything about the Sentry, it's him dealing with the Void and then his psychology, and it has a very good ending. It has a very unexpected ending. I don't want to give away.
Oh my God, it's the best.
But it's a 5 issues centric around him. And it's really good. If you have any interest in the characters, there's a great picking up point. There's a lot of flashbacks back to his origin as well. So it will teach you a lot about the character, about his past, and where he is moving forward, because there's a significant change to him by the end of the book that we can't give away. No.
It would give it away obvious.
Yeah. And it might have slight repercussions later in like the Marvel universe.
That's what I mean. I can't wait to see what happens
later on. Yeah, in the future. I can't wait to see what happens in the future. That's a good way to word it. Yeah.
Yeah, like
exactly for him. And yeah, I think everyone should read it. I really do think they should try to read it. It's a really good emotional story, and it's connected to the Marvel Universe. We see some characters like Iron Man and Misty Knight, but we're not drowned in characters, or we're not like drowned in like what's going on in the current Marvel Universe.
It's its own thing.
It's a century focused book.
It's its own.
Yeah,
it's all about him.
It's good. It's very good. And yeah, what's your last one?
Last one for me was Darth Vader.
Which you actually also don't have the cover of, like, for my other one. Yeah.
Darth Vader was a good one. I actually don't like Star Wars that much at all. As funny as it is, I don't watch the movies, I don't keep up on it, but I just like Darth Vader. And the first issue came out, I just decided to pick it up because I love the villains. Like Darth Maul.
Oh, Darth Maul's in it?
Well, he was not in it, but they also had a series with Darth Maul that I read, but
yeah, the Darth Vader one, though.
Darth Vader was the best. It was just really about him, and they were focusing on killing the rest of the Jedi. They basically won. They have everything under control now.
So it's like in between 3 and 4, movie-wise?
I think it's its own separate thing for Darth Vader. It's really its own storyline.
It has to take place somewhere in the...
I have no idea where it would take place, because I know nothing about the Star Wars storyline at all.
Fair enough.
So I just read it, and I enjoyed it for what it was. And he just kind of tries to master the dark side,
Dark side, yeah.
Yeah, he just try to focus in on it because I don't want to give away too much, but he has a really, goal that he wants to use for the dark side. It's kind of touching in a way, but in the end, it's Darth Vader and there's tragedies happening,
Alright, cool, yeah. And my last book I'm going to recommend, or not my last book, that's, I'd say one of the most underrated books of 2018 is The Weatherman, by John Lee Herp and Nathan Fox and Dave Stewart. And the colors are so awesome, it's worth mentioning them. I do not know any of these people. I bought this book because that cover looked awesome to me at first.
That's what I was about
And it was on Image, and it's a really, really fun series. It just went on break, like so many of these Image series do.
How long of a break is it going on?
I think it comes back in March or May. March, I think? Yeah, March, I'm going to say. And then just the last issue came out this December.
Okay.
Sorry, get things again. But it's a fantastic book. It takes place in a world, or in I guess, the future, where we've colonized Mars, the space stations, moons are colonized. People live in space,
That's awesome.
But we don't live, like, too far in space. But the Earth was destroyed in a terrorist attack. Like, I forget how many years before, like 5 or 10 years prior. Like, everyone on Earth died.
Oh my god.
Yeah, and the story is pretty much them tracking down the terrorists and getting, I guess, like... But it's not just, like, shooty bang bang. It's, like, complicated. We start Nathan... Wait, isn't the character's name Nathan Fox? Is he also the artist? I'm getting... I thought the character's name was Nathan Fox, too, or something along those lines. I might be getting mixed up. I'm pretty sure his name is Nathan, though, the character. But yeah, it stars this weatherman guy who's the weatherman on Mars. He gets wrapped up into this whole scheme with the government trying to arrest one of the terrorists and then use that terrorist to leak out the other terrorists for his organization. And it's this kind of like a wacky mystery / sci-fi adventure. That's a good one. It's like a wacky but also like emotional sci-fi adventure. It's really cool. The art is fantastic.
I was going to say, just the cover alone draws me to it. Colors.
Yeah, it's all very bright.
Very nice.
There's a super big twist at the end of the first book that I don't like. Without giving that away, I can't really talk much about the other 5 issues because I don't want to give away that twist. It's really fun to read.
You want him to have that.
Yeah, I want you to have it. But like you find, it's right at the end of this first issue, and it sets up the rest of the series going on. I really recommend it though if you want to. You'll laugh while reading the book, and and there's like serious emotion behind stuff too. There's a lot of fun. All the characters are fun. I like the designs of this. Cool futuristic design. Oh wait, it's a future, so cool space designs, and yeah, really recommend it. There's only 6 issues of it out, and it's on break, so it's a perfect time to catch up. I'm sure a trade is coming out in that gap, And those are all the books that we recommend that were underrated. These are the underrated books of 2018. These are the top 10 underrated books of 2018. Let's give a hard boom. That's what they were. That's what we think. I want to give one more shout out though to the current Shatterstar series by Tim Seeley, and then what's it called? And there's two artists really on this book because the flashbacks and the current day are in two different art styles. It's Gerardo Sandella and Carlos Vela, who I'm pretty sure Carlos Vela sounds familiar with me. But it's neat. The art transitions from a more brutal style with his flashbacks to his past. It's a very interesting take on Shatterstar. He owns a brownstone in in Brooklyn. Yeah, which is home to only other interdimensional guests because such as him. He gets wrapped up in the Mojo world again. But I haven't been keeping up with a lot of stuff. I've just been getting back into Marvel and X-Men, and apparently Grandmaster owns Mojo World and Mojo's on Earth. So like the Grandmaster's in it, and he's always fun to see. And it's a mini series. There's only gonna be 5 of them. 3 are out. It's only 3 of the 5 are out, so I couldn't put it as like one of my books,
Yeah.
But it's a very interesting take on Shatterstar. If you like him, it's fun. You get to see him act more human than normal, less mindless. You see apparently you see his relationship with Richter, and I think they broke up now. But then because his ex-girlfriend came too, so he's just banging everyone.
He's just going after it all.
Yeah, he's just banging everyone. But he's not trying to bang his ex-girlfriend. I think. Or maybe.
Maybe.
Where is he? Ooh,
We'll
we don't know. We'll see what
goes.
happens. But it's a good series. Everyone's fun. Tim Steele's a great writer. I believe he just came off of Nightwing, right? Didn't he just do a big Nightwing run? Yeah. He came off right before the shooting, right? The headshot. He did
Headshot.
God, man. That's a good series, though. But
That's
yeah,
good.
thank you guys for watching. If there was any books you think flew under the radar and you want to recommend them, put them down in the comments for us. And yeah, we'll see you guys next week. Thank you very much.
Good day.